I'm good. Good, good. So I am recording this training tonight, guys, just for those people who aren't able to jump on. And if you like, Sheila, I can send you the link, so you have it.
Great.
Yeah. And I mean, they're always on my YouTube channel. If you want to go grab any of them, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Not a problem ever. But so I'm just going to jump in, and what we're going to, oh, hey, Tammy, nice to see you. What we're going to talk about tonight is social media, but we're going to we're going to talk about like how to post well, how to brand yourself and be authentic. We're going to talk a little bit about compliancy and what does that mean. We're going to talk about kind of the don'ts, like what not to do on Facebook in terms of posting or just even the way that you post. And then we're just going to do a refresher on how to engage your audience, especially your lost audience. Maybe you realize you run into somebody in the grocery store, you see somebody on social media and you're like, wow, I haven't noticed that person in a long time. How to re-engage those people and how to keep them engaged and not lose them ever. So we'll start tonight with, I want to talk about compliancy first, because that's a huge part of social media and posting. Actually, when Messenger came out the other day with that glitch on the weekend, I was one of the first people on the team to post about it. I don't know if it happened to you guys, but Messenger bounced me out for about 24 hours. So I went on Help Me to Paint Diamonds, and I said, so is anybody else getting bounced out of Messenger? And Mark Pierce came on and said, you must be in Facebook jail. And Facebook jail is just where Facebook basically shuts you out for a period of time that they determine. But usually when you're in Facebook jail, they won't let you post in groups, but you can still post on your wall. So I didn't think it was going to be Facebook jail, but it was glitchy. And my first thought was, oh, they're kicking me out because they don't like the way I'm posting or something like that. Hey, Mike. But in fact, it wasn't that at all. It was a glitch. However, Twitter has sent me, or not Twitter, Plexus has sent me many emails asking me to take down my tweets on Twitter. So they have their system of finding things that are compliant or non-compliant, as it were, seems to be much more stringent on Twitter. That doesn't mean that they're not looking on Facebook. And it's not that I was being defiant or something. I really didn't even realize that some of the things I was doing were not compliant. So let's talk about what compliancy is. It basically means that you're following the rules, right? If we're compliant at school, then we're following the rules of the classroom. It's the same sort of thing with Plexus. So basically, guys, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are not posting any claims of, preventing, curing any sorts of diseases, ailments, viruses, illnesses. We really shouldn't be using the word IBS or the abbreviation IBS. We shouldn't be technically, we shouldn't even be saying blood pressure, even though on Plexus' own packaging, on the Plexus Slim, it talks about blood pressure or managing blood pressure. So sometimes people do testimonials and we're like, oh gosh, that's such a great testimonial. But they use some pretty huge claims in those testimonials. Those are not compliant to share. Do I wish we could? Oh yeah. If we could say what we know for real, like everybody would be taking Plexus if we were able to do that. But unfortunately we have that whole thing in our way. So there are ways around it. There's wording that you can use instead, like instead of saying pain, you can say discomfort. You can also post about the great stories that you're hearing from people whom you know. And you can ask your people, say, if you'd like to hear, excuse me, some great testimonials, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to share them with you in private. And you can actually post that. You haven't said anything non-compliant. You haven't mentioned any disease. You can think of your own clever way of saying that. I know recently I would have sort of modeled this after someone else, but I used my own words. I said, it says something like this: so blown away by the incredible stories that I'm hearing from people that I share the same grocery store with, that my kids go to the same park as their kids, and that kind of thing. So if you want to do that and get attention that way, that's a really good way to do it, for sure. And again, being careful with what words you use. So not using pain, but using discomfort, and not saying IBS, but instead maybe, asking the question, got tummy troubles, or that kind of thing, or stomach discomfort would be a way to marry those two things. So those are some other just things to think about. And if you really want to post, something, and you're not sure kind of how would you reword that thing, whatever it is, then ask your upline, ask your sideline, ask your friends. And I'm sure that together you guys can come up with something really awesome. So I'd like to go right into now what posts should look like on Facebook. Okay. So these are things that I really believe that are do's and don'ts. And most of them are ones that I've noticed from other people. When I first started to post, I was horribly salesy. And now I'm seeing that as, the memory app on Facebook, where you see what happened a year ago, 2 years ago, and so on. Well, that pops up every morning. And so now I'm seeing my year-old Plexus posts for the first time. And oh my gosh, they're so different than what they are now. They're very graphic-y, like, the cheesy Plexus graphics, which, I mean, it's totally your call, but I don't use those anymore. And I did, though, every single day for the first 4 months of my business, or 5 maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll let you know as these memories keep unfolding every day for me to go like this too. It's not that my intentions weren't the same. I just didn't really know how to post about it. So I kind of was duplicating what I was seeing around me. And I would be, Google imaging Plexus Slim or Plexus this or that. And so I found these graphics that, I thought, well, those are nice. I can't make anything nearly that nice, so I'll just use that. But I would charge you to avoid those salesy graphics, because when you see them, or when I see them, I just see salesperson, and I see cheesy or whatever. I don't know what the word is you'd use, but that's kind of what I think. And it's really and it's probably not authentically you, if you think about it, because really what we want to be doing is we want to be posting with authenticity, so that we're consistent in that, and that it brands you, and it makes people know that's you, and it sounds like you. It's that consistent. So one way, like, for example, last year, I might have taken a P96 graphic of the Plexus protein shake, if you're new and you're not sure yet what P96 is. So the protein shake, last year I would have found a graphic for it, and it would have been somebody else drinking it, or somebody else making it if there was a person in it. And I would have plopped that up there, and I would have probably said something like, we are not a meal replacement company, but we do have lean protein shakes that are super good for you. And I might have hashtagged, I don't even know if I was hashtagging at that point, but if I was, it would have said something like, ask me, or something like that. That's just that's screaming the sale. And some people will bite on that, but most people get tired of looking at that day after day. That's the thing. So what would I do now? I would do a video of me making the shake and my kids running for the blender, because they absolutely love it. And so my kids are probably going to bring up Plexus because it's part of their life now. But if I was just starting, I might say, who wants a Plexus shake? Or I might say, Mommy's making a great protein shake. I might not even mention Plexus, but maybe I'd use a Plexus cup for them to drink out of. So those are just some ways that you could incorporate and really attract your audience in a positive way that's not salesy. And if you're not comfortable with video, take a picture of yourself, do a selfie with your drink. I mean, how many times has that proven effective? If you add yourself in, you incorporate you, it becomes about you, right? It's authentic. It's about you. So that authenticity, that personal touch, it's really, really important. When you write a post, read it a couple of times before you post it. That's really, really important. I'm often guilty of not doing that, but I do try to as much as possible, because I always find mistakes, and I always find things that I wish I could have said it that way. And then I go back and edit it anyways. So before you post it, before you click, before you're trigger happy, just take a little read. And that would also include grammar, punctuation, and all of the above. If you post, like some of you have received messages from me that are voice to text, and they're brutal. They're run-on sentences. Sometimes there is spelled like the other there or the other there, and all that kind of stuff. But my posts on Facebook would never look like that. So it's not texting. You're not texting your buddy. You are posting something that people are going to look to for information. And if it looks like you can't even form a sentence, they are not going to read your post. They're going to think, what is that person doing right now? They're not going to see Plexus in that. And if they do see Plexus in that, they're going to see Plexus doesn't know how to write a sentence. So just really think about that, and really make sure that you're reading that post over and over again. You know what? Sharing other people's posts is totally okay. And on our team page this week, I talked about that a little bit. It's okay to share other people's posts, but don't click share. Copy and paste the content, and then change that content up so that it sounds like you. Okay. Something that happened recently, I noticed that somebody had posted something, and this is really funny, or I think it is. They posted something, and at the bottom was a message like that the person put their husband's name. Don't worry, I'll be home for supper soon. Well, they copy and pasted the whole, they didn't read it. I was like, oh my goodness. So I reached out to them like, you gotta change your post. So just be careful. Don't just assume that the information in the post is right either. Like maybe somebody's making a claim of something that's not true. Like that there's not a certain ingredient in something, or maybe that the ingredient that should be mentioned that isn't mentioned, or maybe you just want to personalize it, right? Maybe you want to put your own husband's name or your own wife's name if you're going to do that. So it's just something to think about. I'm sorry, but I find that so funny. So copy and paste is totally fine. A way to make it authentically you too is to if there's a graphic with the post, change the graphic, right? I do that a lot, actually. I have, and we're going to look at, when we go over to Facebook in a second, I'm going to show you guys kind of, if you don't already know, of course, how to save posts and then call them up later and that kind of thing. Okay, so you're going to want to post often, but you want to limit your Plexus posts. You want to limit posts where you actually mention Plexus or have the word Plexus somewhere in the post. So the perfect model of this would probably be Krista, Brenda Martin, if any of you followed Brenda, Alita Allen, Emily Roberts, Tara Castaneda, all of those. And I look at those people all the time. I go to what did they post today, and I save half of them because they're really good posts. And then I make them me afterward. But they post often enough that they stay engaged with their audience. If you're not doing that, if you're posting once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening only, or even let's say once a day, or once in the morning and once in the evening, you're going to miss your audience, because the way Facebook works is that it works on a timeline. So every single day there are peak times and low times. So if you're only ever posting at those times, you're going to miss a great deal of your audience. So post often, but limit your Plexus posting. And you can make it about Plexus without saying Plexus. So an example of that would be promoting a healthy lifestyle, putting an article up about, balanced eating, or, 10 ways to move your body that you didn't think of before to keep your heart rate up during the day. I'm just making those up, but there's just so many ways. But do take a look. I mean, you guys all see Krista, so take a look at Krista and see how she does that. And she's, over this course of this year, it's been really cool to watch how everybody has gotten different at their posting. It's really interesting. So use pictures of you, videos, we talked about that. Do use testimonials. They're awesome. Just make sure that you copy and paste those. And if you're looking for testimonials, there used to be, and this is before my time actually, but everybody talks about Plexus Journeys. Sheila, do you remember Plexus Journeys where you, yeah. So you could go on there and you could, grab whatever you wanted and you could share it. And right before I came into Plexus, you could actually say whatever you wanted. You could claim whatever you wanted. I've never known that, so I don't really miss that, I guess. But I know that it's a thing. But you can still find testimonials on Facebook, and we're going to look at some ways to do that. Okay, so don't. I don't say the word don't a lot, but I'm going to a couple of times tonight, okay? Don't share posts. Copy and paste. Do not share your website. I know it's tempting, but remember we talked about the salesy piece a little while ago? If you think that if I think those cheesy graphics are salesy, my website is way more salesy. You send your website privately to people when you get to the point of sale almost. There are other ways to share product with people. There's the online catalog. There's just so many ways to share with people without sending them to your website. Because if they click on retail, they're going to get the highest price point before you've had a chance to even introduce the 3 ways. And you may not hear from them again. So that's just something to think about. So it's not only the image that it creates or the facade that it creates, but it's also the fact that you're sending people to potentially to the highest price. All right, so really those are the only don'ts. So that was easy. There's lots of do's, not very many don'ts. And now I'm going to share the screen so we can head on over to Facebook world. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go home. All right, so the first thing I'd like to do is I'm going to go actually and show you about the sharing first. I really like Brenda Martin. I think she's so cool. So I creep her all the time. I do. I'm just saying. I creep lots of people all the time. I actually, you know what, that's not actually true. I don't have a lot of time to creep people, but I do creep certain jewels who I resonate with, or who resonate with me, or whatever you want to say. Like, look at her posts. Have you seen, other than the salary income disclosure statement, because that's very truly Plexus, but look, she's got some cool posts here. And you guys have probably seen some of these. That's cute. I didn't see that one yet. So what I would do, let's see. I think this is cute. So I'm going to save that post. Okay. So I clicked on this little thingy in the corner. Okay. And I'm going to save that post because I like it. And if I go back home and I go under explore and then saved, her post is there. Now, I'm not going to share that post. We already talked about this. And I'm not going to do this today because she posted this. Actually, I don't even know when she posted this. Yesterday in the morning. I am not going to post it this way either. I am going to post that as my own personal quote. And I'm probably going to change some of the verbiage. Like I wouldn't say, remember when teachers used to say, because I really don't draw a whole lot of attention to the fact that I'm a teacher in my social media anymore. I do sometimes, but not often. So I would probably use the quote for me personally. And then I would do a bunch of hashtags. That's what I would do. So if somebody saw this as a purple and white thing that Brenda Martin posted, and then they saw that I posted it, they wouldn't even know that it was the same thing. So making it my own, very, very important. And I will make that my own. You'll see that. Give me a chuckle underneath when you do. But again, it's not going to be today, and it's not going to be tomorrow, because she just posted this yesterday. I want to stretch those out. You know, when you're on social media and your Plexus friends are all posting the exact same thing, yeah, that's not cool. We don't want to do that. The only time that would be cool is if, like, the big reveal, that makes sense, right? But if it's a testimonial or if it's something else, that's probably not going to be what you're going to want to be looking at. So I'm going to go over to my friends list. And I did a little bit of this with Sheila's team last week. Gosh, was that just last week? I think it was.
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
All right. Phew. That was a long week. Oh my goodness. So if you go to, I should go back to where I was. Sorry. I'm clicking before I explain where I'm going. I'm on my homepage right now. And I'm going to go over under Explore to friend lists. And we all have this. If you're on your phone, this does not work. You need to be on a tablet, an iPad, or a laptop. So right now, I'm in my friends list place. I did not make, all these lists. I was going to say Plexus made them. No, Facebook made them. And you'll notice that some of them are really obvious, like Plexus Worldwide, Port Elgin Regional School, Anglophony School District. So these are all places where we either work or organizations we belong to. So when you recognize that in the about or about the information about yourself on your own personal profile, then Facebook will put you in that group. And then when your friends do it, they're going to put your friends in that group for you. They just do it. If you want to create your own list, though, so that you can take all of your non-Plexus friends and put them in one place so that you can comment and like on their stuff often, then you go up here to create list. And if I click on that, I can actually I can name a new list, and I can put people in it that I would like to add to that list. Now, I mentioned non-Plexus friends because that makes sense for our topic tonight. But let's say there were 2 or 3 friends that you really wanted to make sure you reached. I'll give you an example. I have a millennials list, a friends list. I'll go back and show it to you. It's right here. So I have a millennials list. So that's all sort of the kids that have graduated and they've gone on to university and they're just kind of making their way in life. And so I have a list of those people, and every once in a while I will post just to that list. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So if I click on millennials, all of a sudden I am on my millennials list. Okay. Or I'm on just whatever they're posting. So my newsfeed's only going to show me those friends. Okay. If I post right now, look down here in the corner, it says millennials. Only the millennial friends that I have are going to see my post. So they're more likely to see my post because it's only targeted to them. So what kind of post would I make to these people? Letting them know that they could make extra money to help pay for their new car. Explaining to them how they can knock down debt by making extra money with this business. Attracting them to the energy piece, because a lot of people that age are taking energy drinks and they're doing the 5-hour energy and all that kind of stuff. So that would be a good reason for me to post to that group. So it would either be product or business. And I would need to really gear it to that grouping. Okay. So the minute that I hit post, it's only going to go to those people. So I'm going to post how many people, who had an energy drink today. So I'm just going to post that. And again, that only went, if you look at this drop down thingy here, see when I touch it or just hover on it, it says millennials. Only my millennials are going to see that post. That's it. Now, when you go to post again, you're going to want to change it back to public or friends or whatever it is that you've done before. Or you're just going to keep posting to your millennials. Okay. So I'm going to head back over to my friend list now. And I'm going to go back to create list so that we can see how easy it is to create a millennials list or another friends list. I would advise you to name your list something that is not offensive. And I'm not joking when I say that. Or not misleading, because people can hover over that and see. So I could hover over that and see millennials, well, so can my crowd. So you could call it like good friends, or, you know, friends 1 or friends 2 or something like that. Or you name it whatever you want to name it. But just remember that people can see what it's called. So I'm going to call this, because I have already one called friends, and it's actually Plexus, my non-Plexus friends is what it is. So I'm going to say friend or friends of mine. Oh yeah, I used that at that with you guys the other night. Friends of mine, that's what I'm going to call it. So if I type the letter A, all the A's, oh look there, Tammy, all the A's in my friend list, or people with A in their name, are going to pop up. So I could literally do this. Okay. So all I'm doing is I am typing the letter A, and when it's going to highlight the person's name, and I just click enter. Okay. So again, I click the letter A, I do that, and it puts the person. Now, obviously, some of these people are actually on our team. So I'm not going to probably target Tammy or Kim or Carrie Ann or April or Alicia or Ashley, or that's it. So I'm probably not going to want any of those people on this list, because that waters it down again, and then people aren't going to see my post if it's for posting purposes that I'm over here. So I'm going to actually cancel this because I don't want this list. Okay. But I'm going to go over to, so once you've clicked done and you're finished, it's going to show up over here. And so now I'm going to go to my friends list, which is my non-Plexus friends. Okay. And some of them have become Plexus friends, by the way. So as I see them, I usually just delete them from the group. So I go through and I like and comment on, or not necessarily comment, you don't have to get back into their presence. I go through and I like their stuff. Sometimes I comment. That's strange. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going down through. And if it's somebody that I've been talking with lots, like I've been talking to this lady a fair bit. She's on PEI. Oh, I didn't watch the video, so I'm not going to comment, because I always be authentic, but I'll go back and watch it after. Ooh, this is good. My daughter's in this. I'm definitely interested. I'm not just, being funny. So I've just liked a bunch of stuff. So what's going to happen if I go back up to my home page is I'm going to start, jeez. Oh my goodness, Sean. That's very nice. Thank you. I should see some of those people start to appear here in my newsfeed just because I went and liked their stuff. So they should start showing up here. It's funny. Oh, this one. I just like that. And this probably wouldn't have shown up as quickly. So what's happening is the minute that I like and comment, or just like, stuff that is in that friends newsfeed, pardon me, and when I click on the friends under that category, then I'm basically re-engaging them. They're like, oh, there's Tanya again. I'm just going to start showing up in their newsfeed. And then they're going to start commenting on the things that are not Plexus. And then we keep our relationship going. So that's why it's so important to refresh your friend list. I saw a video not long ago and it was so complicated. It talked about this. It talked about going to your friends list and going to your list like this and going through your A's and your B's and your C's and your D's and liking everything that way. To me, because we have a mix of Plexus and non-Plexus people, it just makes sense to create 2 separate lists. And then your time is just better spent, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna go unshare the screen so I can see people. All right. So another way that people use Facebook is to create their own professional page. So I know Erin Beth, you have one, and Holly has one, and other people on our team have one. I have one. Jenna, do you have one? I'm not sure if you do. I think you do, actually. What you want to do, sorry, what's that?
Have one what?
Do you have a professional page? Like, did you create a Jenna page for Plexus?
Like my own website that they gave me for like shopping?
No, I mean on Facebook. I just wondered if you had created a.
No, I didn't create one.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. A lot of people don't. The thing about having a professional page is this: it gives you some options to get really cheap advertising. So that's those sponsored ads that you see people with. That's the only way you can get those is if you have a professional page, and they are not expensive. Like I have one running right now, and it's only according to engagement that you pay, and you can have a maximum you can choose the area. You can have a maximum amount that you are willing to spend, and you put the cap on it at the beginning, and then you say how many days you want it to run. So maybe I'll just take you guys over there really quick, and no one should feel like they have to create a pro page because it is more work, and maybe you just want to focus, on your, where did my Facebook go? Can you guys see my Facebook right now?
No,
Yeah.
Yes.
No?
I
I
can.
can't, Sheila.
Oh, really?
I can.
That's strange. Okay, hang on. I'm going to stop the share, and I'll do it the right way because I think I cheated. No, I didn't cheat.
No, I can see it.
There you are.
I can see it.
Oh, okay.
I see it now.
All right, perfect. All right, so if I go to my home page, my pro page is right here. So I could also find my page.
Go see. Go see.
I could also find my pro page over here under pages, but if you have ads running, then it shows you over here. So this is what my pro page looks like to me, but to you, it looks different because you can't see the business insights and stuff like that on it. This is so easy to set up. It's as easy as setting up a group or an event or any of those things. And if you would like some help with that, just let me know. I'd be happy to jump on a Zoom and talk you through it. So you don't necessarily, you wouldn't see this part and you wouldn't see this part. You would just see my pictures, my posts. You could message me, that kind of stuff. There's tips here on, sort of what to do. See, my post this week reached this many people. So
Don't worry about it.
I had these many people engaged.
My booby.
No, booby.
Kiss me.
I'm
Hug me.
going to mute Crystal.
Oh.
There we go. All right. Sorry, Crystal. Hang on. I'm going to go back to Facebook. All right, here it is. There we go. So I can get notifications on who has been liking or commenting on or that kind of thing. I can also, if I go back to my page, I can also look at my recent ads. So let's see here. Being silly here. Where is it? I can see my activity. So in this time period, I had no ads running. Okay. And in this, it shows me like my paid reach. So this is how many more people I'm reaching because I'm paying for a sponsored ad versus this is my unpaid reach. So this would be my Plexus people helping me out is what that is. So paid means that Plexus boosted it beyond, and that's why you see it as a sponsored ad. Okay. Because I just post it once and then Plexus keeps reposting for me. That's how that works. But they'll reach the audience I need them to reach, not just my friends. They're going to reach the area and the demographic that I ask for. So if I ask for ages 18 to 24 and I ask for Montreal, I can do that. And I can run an ad for 10 days and I can pay $10 for it if I want to. Or I can run an ad for 10 days and pay $2,000 for it if I want to. I don't want to. Carrie Wilkerson, I don't know if you guys follow her. She spoke at Leaders Retreat, and I think she's speaking at convention too, if I'm not mistaken. She's amazing. Is she? Cool.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. She's so brilliant. She's just like, you can't help but be fired up when you talk to her. If you don't follow her, follow her, Carrie, and Wilkerson is Wilkerson. She has some amazing sponsored ads. They blow my mind. They're so engaging. So I often I actually save those and I copy off of those, but make them my own and use my own selfie or whatever it is. But if you're on your pro page, it's really, really easy. You can see my recent promotion here. Actually, this is a Carrie Wilkerson. See if I can see it here. Why can't I see it this way? Well then. Hang on, guys. It's this one. There it is. You can see how much I've reached 1725 and I have 2877 left in my budget that I set for this post. But I'm getting a lot of feedback from this and I'm getting private messages. So sometimes people don't go through the ad. They'll actually find you on Facebook and send you a messenger message. So when I did the PEI meeting, for example, there were some members of my team who really wanted to go and they said they had some people and I was like, well, I'm going to go support my team, but I'm not doing this without potentials there too. So what did I do? I reached out to people on the island and I did some sponsored ads on the island and I got 4 people out to that meeting, all of whom are either customers, preferred customers, or ambassadors now. So that's just something to think about too. What's that?
Do you pick your ad or does it suggest an ad for you?
It typically won't suggest an ad. No, not that I've seen. I just choose my own. So for example, when we went to the opportunity meeting on the island, I picked a graphic of the island and I spoke about my excitement to come to PEI to share these products that make me feel so amazing. And I got a lot of response from that, just from doing that. So, and people had not even heard of Plexus on the island. Everybody who reached out to me hadn't heard of Plexus. So yeah, I'm really thoughtful about how I do it. And it depends on what I'm doing it for. Excuse me. Like, example, if it's to get people out to a meeting, I do it a certain way. If it's to get a reaction, then I might do one like this one. And this is, Carrie Wilkerson did one of these, but it was a lot different than this. Like she had little emojis and she had a graphic and I just decided, no, I'm not doing that. So I just did this. And so my organic reach, meaning the people who it's going to reach anyway, like you guys, is a certain amount of people, but then you tap out your market. So if I was going to go to PEI, for example, and I wanted to target PEI and specifically Charlottetown surrounding areas, I would just target Charlottetown. I wouldn't send my opportunity meeting flyer sort of ad to Fredericton, right? So yeah, I just kind of design it myself. There are videos on, how to do a good Facebook sponsored ad. So there is some training that you can get through this, and you can actually find it on YouTube too. It's kind of funny, Facebook training on YouTube. But yeah, and every once in a while it'll pop up with like grow your business, promote, get more website visitors. Although my website's not on my pro page, how to promote your page better, that kind of thing. So you can do that too. The biggest thing you can do when you first get your pro page, because another advantage to having it is that you can share ads from it with your audience. So I'll show you how that would work. So I'm just going to say, and let's say I want to publish that post. Publish is the same as post. Okay. I can also actually schedule that post, just like with Buffer or Hootsuite or Tiny Torch. I can schedule it. I can save it as a draft and come back later, or I can directly publish it. And if I directly publish it, which I'm going to do, and then I'm going to delete it. Not that I don't love my team. It's just that anyway. I can actually, I'm going to share it, but I'm going to do share ... and I'm going to share it on my timeline. I go up here, I grab share a page on You Manage. I'm going to share on my own timeline. And I'm going to post it. It's been shared to my timeline. And there it is. That's how it's going to appear. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my pro page one more time because there's one more thing I want to show you. When you start a pro page, the most important thing, I'm stuck here. Oh, okay. The most important thing you can do, this is not compliant. I forgot to change that word pain. Whoops. The most important thing you can do is to get people to like it. Okay. Invite friends. So you look for like, follow, share, and the 3 dots, say invite friends. And you can see if you've already invited them or not. And then you can invite them again. You can invite people. You can also search a friend's name. So I'm just thinking of somebody that I already invited him. We just became friends. So he's already been invited. He hasn't accepted the invitation, but he's been invited. The more people that like your pro page, the more people you're going to reach when you post organically. Organically means just to the world, just to your world. Okay. You can boost your pro page by sponsored ads, and you can also boost it by sharing it on your own timeline. There. And that's that. Cool. I hope I didn't go on too long about the pro page.
No, it's interesting.
Lost.
Are you? If you ever want to do a play-by-play, like go through it really slow, Mike, I can do that with you. And I'm recording this, so if you could always watch it again and go through it if that makes sense.
Yep.
Sean just asked, did I mention email addresses? Sean, can you unmute yourself for a sec if you're still there?
Hi.
Hi. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, one of the things that I was looking at on the weekend, and they were at a conference session that I was at the ECMAs, is that we're talking about social media advertising using various platforms, but also doing, you had created that millennials post that you did, and you targeted it specifically to them. You can actually do that using email addresses. So you create a spreadsheet with email addresses and you upload it into Facebook, and it basically is like a targeted ad at those particular email addresses. So as long as the people that you're hoping to get, that email address is the one that's associated with their Facebook account, they will actually get repeated things. So various, well, specifically this one artist had gone and collected all the email addresses of all the delegates by going to their websites, and then created ads specifically inviting them to their showcase. But of course, it's only going to work if the emails between the two platforms are the same. But it's a very simple, you would just upload the spreadsheet and Facebook does the rest for you.
On your pro page.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yep. I did.
Which
see
I
that.
had never done specifically that way.
Mhm.
And it's just, when you look at it, it's the same as it was when you do it in an ad, and you target your areas and things. It's just that it gives you the option to upload, an email address platform as opposed to people's names or geographical region or whatever it is. So it's yet another option.
Mhm.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye. So do you guys have any specific questions about Facebook or social media in general, or posting, compliancy, do's, don'ts?
We're such a quiet bunch.
Yeah, everybody is quiet tonight. We need some sunshine.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I can't believe there's no questions.
I have one question, Tanya.
Sure.
I seen a post, and I forget who posted it. They had said, I can't believe this is all it said, I can't believe my friend's blood pressure is balanced. They didn't mention Plexus or anything, but they are a Plexus person. Is that compliant or not?
It's such a gray area. I mean, I look around our larger team and people are doing it. The message that I understood, and this would have been, gosh, I can't even remember which training it was, but where somebody was talking about, like, really everybody knows that you're doing Plexus. So when you talk about this stuff, they're associating it back to Plexus. But at the same time, I see, like, we go through fits and starts on the team where sometimes it's really, we're like this about it. And then sometimes it's like, oh, we're all getting comfortable again. So you know what I mean? And I'm actually going to stop the recording so I can say,